9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
Hey, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and for today, does look like we're going to be looking at a pretty nice day on all. In fact, I would say today is going to end up being probably our nicest day of the week overall. Tomorrow, it'll be warmer, but it's also going to be a lot windier tomorrow and also much higher fire danger, and I think that's the big story looking at the forecast. For eastern Colorado, high fire danger for tomorrow. In fact, probably our highest fire weather risk day of the year so far in eastern Colorado, and then to the mountains we'll get some snow into the picture as well. But for today, as I mentioned, it's pretty tranquil. It is a nice day outside. Temperatures already getting well into the 40s. We should top out in the mid to maybe even upper 50s later on this afternoon. Pleasant weather all around and lots of sunshine. Again, low to minimal fire risk for us here along the Front Range for today as a result of those lighter winds. But tomorrow, again, those winds kick up. That will increase our fire danger chances, and it's much cooler on Friday with a little bit of rain and snow possible on Friday morning. Temperatures officially at the airport's 37 right now. Most of the metro area well above 40 degrees. We're already well into the 50s in southeastern parts of Colorado, but where we've still got that fresh snowpack from what we picked up on Monday. That's why you're seeing the 20s in the northeastern corner of the state. How about that for you in Leadville, 10,000 feet in elevation, warmer than much of the northeastern corner of the state despite the elevation difference. Now, HT Doppler radar showing us still some of that snowpack out there across northeastern Colorado. That will melt off for today. Things looking calm right now across the state, but you look off towards the west and we've got yet another bomb cyclone, another very strong area low pressure moving its way into California, and this one rapidly developing, and you can see that very, very well-defined spin and swirl just off of the northern California coastline. That's the area low pressure, and that eventually will reach us here in Colorado tomorrow with some snow for us into the higher elevations, maybe a bit of rain, snow for us along the Front Range. But for the rest of today and into early tomorrow, things looking tranquil for us. Again, overnight, things looking okay. So if you got any travel plans, looks a-okay out there for tomorrow. I mentioned those temperatures right now on the calm side. We should get on up into the mid-50s for us here in town. Partly cloudy skies, and it is a very just pleasant day. Again, winds on the light side, mid-50s, not as warm as tomorrow, but again, the winds will be a difference for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to feel like stepping outside into a hairdryer because it's going to be so windy and warm. But for tonight, we do start to see those winds tick up a little bit. We'll see a bit more of a breeze by dawn. Temperatures dropping down to around freezing overnight, seasonally chilly for us. Our average high, by the way, for this time of year, right around 60 degrees. Red flag warning in place for tomorrow from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. This just means high fire danger, and avoid outdoor burning. Don't park your car in an area on dry grass, things like that, just because tomorrow it's going to be windy, it's going to be dry. It's one of those days that any fire that starts can spread very quickly with winds that'll gust up to around 50 miles an hour for us in the Denver area and maybe as high as 60 miles an hour in the Southeast Plains. And I mentioned this earlier on. To me, overall, we've had red flag warnings, we've had fire danger days earlier on this year. Tomorrow looks to be a little higher than what we've seen earlier on this year, just due to the fact that we've got some stronger winds, and also tomorrow looks exceptionally dry. We're going to be near 70 degrees. So again, just take those precautions, and if you do live near an urban wildlife interface, so just think if you have a big grass field in your backyard or something like that, or I don't know, just you live near a lot of open space, I would have that go bag ready to go, just in case. I don't want to scare you too much. This is not anything close to what we had with the setup with the fire, Marshall Fire back on December of 2021. This is nothing like that. I don't want to alarm you or alert you. Just have that ready in case a fire does start. Should always have that anyways. For tomorrow afternoon, again, those winds, these are sustained winds. It's an average wind speed. Gusts will be higher than what you're seeing on your screen. Again, southeast Colorado, those gusts get on up in the 60 mile an hour range. For Denver, around the 50 mile an hour range. Closer look in here at the Front Range, those winds gradually build up as we head through the morning. They'll top out early to mid-afternoon tomorrow between about 12 and 4 p.m. Tomorrow is when we'll see those strongest winds. And then the good news is these winds should die down pretty quickly. We'll still see some gusty winds tomorrow night, But again, the strongest of those winds, and ones that we're really concerned about, will be between about 12 and 5 p.m. or so tomorrow afternoon. And then those winds should die down pretty quickly tomorrow night. Well, temperatures in mid-60s for us. Again, those winds will be of concern. It will feel like stepping into a hairdryer outside tomorrow afternoon with those warm temperatures. Look at Lamar tomorrow, 80 degrees for us. It's a bluebird day into the high country. Well, I should say not a bluebird day because it's not going to be sunny, but mild for us into the high country. In fact, those lower elevations, you get below 6,000 feet, it's probably going to be rain for the most part for tomorrow. Even Leadville tomorrow with that rain snow moving in at 10,000 feet, it's going to be 34 for a high earlier on in the day. It will cool as the day wears on. So mentioned all the fire danger on the eastern plains. How about the mountains? And we do look at, it does look like we're going to see a fair bit in the way of snowfall. It starts tomorrow morning, moving in from west to east. Again, lower elevations, Grand Valley. This is all rain for you. But this moves from west to east throughout the day tomorrow. Eisenhower tells them the closer mountains, Highway 40, looks okay through the morning tomorrow. We'll see that snow start up, but it doesn't really pick up until tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. The worst of the travel conditions into the high country tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, especially as you get a little bit closer to Denver. And then by Friday morning, still snowing into the high country, but the snow gradually fizzles on out as we head through the day. A few rain or snow showers possible for us in the Denver area. Not expecting much, if anything, for us into the Denver area. Maybe a little bit in the way of accumulation north of town. But again, this is not going to be a big deal for us on the eastern plains. It's into the high country where we do have that potential for significant snowfall accumulation. In fact, we do have winter weather advisories and winter storm watches up for the high country as well. 7-day forecast. Temperatures get near 70 for us on your Sunday, and then early next week we drop down into the low 50s for us with a rain-snow mix possible on Tuesday. And also, by the way, again, Friday, it's in the morning where we have that rain-snow mix. Doesn't look like a big deal at this point. Then we'll be back in the 60s for the upcoming weekend and the early part of next week. And I mentioned this yesterday. I want to re-emphasize this because it's kind of interesting to me. Average temperature since January the 1st, it's about 31 degrees. Coldest start to a calendar year since 1979. So how about that for us along the Front Range? Pretty chilly start to the calendar year for us in the Denver area. So hopefully it gives you a good idea of what we've seen and what to expect. Once again, I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and meteorologist Lauren Robinson will have an update for you coming up at 9 News at noon and at 2 p.m. here on 9 News Plus. And then Chief Meteorologist Kathy Simmons in at 4 and 5. And then meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.